In a world governed by order, there exist places where the boundary between life and death is as thin as a thread. Today, we journey into the heart of darkness to reveal 10 secrets the Earth tried to bury. Sights so perilous and haunting they defy human logic. Before we descend into the unknown, hit the subscribe button to join our global quest. And please, comment below, letting us know which country you are watching from. Let the countdown begin. You are now standing at the threshold of the most profound and haunting ossuary on Earth, the Catacombs of Paris. Stretching over 300 kilometers in a labyrinthine web beneath the romantic, bustling streets of the City of Light. This subterranean world was established in 1786 to solve the crisis of overflowing cemeteries. Descending 20 meters underground, far deeper than the city's metro system, you enter a silent, chilling realm, housing the mortal remains of more than 6 million souls, a skeletal population larger than many modern global cities combined. Visually, the architecture here is not fashioned from marble or steel, but from humanity itself. Thousands of femurs and skulls are meticulously stacked and woven together to create a subterranean kingdom, a grim, calcified mosaic that looks like a prehistoric scar carved into the limestone heart of France. It is a cathedral of the forgotten, where every wall serves as a physical testament to the fragility of our existence. As the dim, flickering amber light of your lantern dances across the hollow eyes of a million nameless faces, you realize this is the true empire of the dead. Here, the vanity and noise of the surface world dissolve into absolute dust. When the heavy shadows of these ancestors stretch to touch your feet, you are forced to confront a haunting, existential question. In the face of such eternal stillness, what does it truly mean to be alive? And what will remain of your story when you finally join the silence? In the quiet reaches of eastern Siberia lies Oymyakon, a place where the very concept of warmth feels like a distant, flickering myth. As we reach the penultimate stage of our journey, we enter the Pole of Cold, the coldest permanently inhabited settlement on our planet. In 1924, temperatures here plummeted to a staggering 71.2 degrees Celsius, a threshold where steel snaps like glass and boiling water instantly transforms into a shimmering cloud of ice crystals before it can even touch the ground. For the 500 resilient souls who call this frozen tundra home, winter is not merely a season, but a supreme test of human existence. Visually, the landscape is a surreal, monochromatic dream, a vast, blinding white mirror reflecting a sun that offers no heat, looking like a landscape from a forgotten moon or a jagged scar of crystal upon the Earth's face. The trees stand as petrified ghosts, draped in layers of heavy frost that shimmer like millions of diamonds under the pale, low-hanging Arctic sky. As the ghostly, ethereal blue twilight descends over the taiga, a sense of profound, icy sanctity washes over the traveler. In this absolute, crushing stillness, The breath of man becomes a visible spirit, rising slowly to meet the heavens. When the world is stripped of everything but the cold, one cannot help but ask, does such extreme isolation finally purify the human spirit? Or are we merely shadows, waiting for a spring that may never truly arrive? As we ascend further into the heavens, we encounter the Los Caracoles Pass on Route 60, a winding path that bridges the majestic peaks of the Andes between Chile and Argentina. This is not merely a road, it is a testament to human perseverance etched into the world's most formidable mountain spine. Rising to an altitude of over 3,200 meters above sea level, this treacherous crossing features 29 harrowing, hairpin turns that spiral upward without the protection of guardrails for much of its length. For decades, these steep inclines have challenged the world's most daring drivers, serving as a vital but perilous artery connecting two nations through the high-altitude Cordillera. From an aerial perspective, the road resembles a giant silver serpent coiled tightly around the jagged ochre flanks of the mountains, or perhaps a rhythmic spiraling staircase for titans carved directly into the Earth's crust. It looks like a delicate ribbon of asphalt, a geometric scar of gray against the raw, ancient power of the snow-capped Andean peaks. As the golden, piercing light of the setting sun bathes the summits in a holy, violet glow, the thin air carries a sense of profound, sacred silence that feels like a divine embrace. At these heights, the soul feels cleansed by the freezing wind, and a deep reverence for the mountain spirits takes hold of every traveler. One is left to wonder, in this vertical sanctuary where the earth touches the divine, have we built a path to reach the world? Or have we accidentally built a ladder to the stars? Step into a landscape that defies every known law of nature and seems to belong to another galaxy, the Danakil Depression. Located in the Afar Triangle of Ethiopia, this geological marvel sits at a staggering 125 meters below sea level, making it one of the lowest and most inhospitable points on the terrestrial globe. For millions of years, the Earth's crust here has been stretching and thinning at the meeting point of three tectonic plates, creating a volcanic cauldron where surface temperatures frequently soar past 50 degrees Celsius. This is not merely a desert. It is a living laboratory of the Earth's violent birth, where the planet's molten heart beats just beneath the surface. Visually, the terrain is an alien masterpiece, a psychedelic canvas painted by the hand of a mad god. Neon yellow sulfur mounds rise like jagged poisonous teeth from a crust of blinding white salt, while pools of bubbling liquid shimmer in toxic shades of emerald green and electric blue. It resembles a vibrant, open wound on the Earth's surface, or perhaps a multicolored scar left by a celestial impact that refuses to heal. As the shimmering, white-hot haze dances over the salt flats, a sense of primordial sanctity settles over the burning horizon. This is a place where the human spirit is stripped bare by the elements, a sacred furnace where only the most resilient, the ancient Afar people, dare to tread. Under the weight of this eternal, searing sun, one is forced to ask, is this harsh wasteland the final, dying breath of a world? Or is it the sacred, glowing forge where the future of our planet is still being written? Beyond the jagged, wind-swept cliffs of Gansbai, South Africa, lies a narrow aquatic corridor that serves as the world's most formidable throne for the ocean's apex predators. This is Shark Alley, a legendary stretch of water nestled between Dyer Island and Geyser Rock. Spanning barely a kilometer in length, this channel became globally renowned in the late 20th century for hosting one of the highest concentrations of great white sharks on Earth. They are drawn here by the colony of over 60,000 Cape fur seals, creating a delicate yet brutal ecosystem where the ancient laws of survival are written in every wave. Visually, the alley appears as a dark, churning ribbon of silver and deep sapphire, a liquid theater where massive, silent shadows move with a grace that is both terrifying and hypnotic. It looks like a restless, aquatic scar on the surface of the Atlantic, where the sunlight plays upon the white foam like a flickering veil over a hidden kingdom of muscle and teeth. As the sun's golden rays pierce the cold, salty depths in shimmering pillars of turquoise light, a sense of profound, ancient sanctity takes hold of the soul. In the presence of these silent sentinels who have patrolled our oceans for 400 million years, one feels the raw, divine pulse of a world untouched by human morality. It is a sacred cathedral of the deep, where life and death dance in perfect rhythmic harmony. Standing at the edge of this predatory paradise, one is forced to ask, in this realm of primal gods and absolute truth, are we merely observers? Or are we finally remembering our own place in the eternal circle of existence? Why would anyone risk their soul on a path where the earth literally crumbles beneath your wheels? At position 6, we face the harrowing reality of Fairy Meadows Road in Pakistan. Why does this path even exist? Hand-carved by local villagers centuries ago, this 16-kilometer gravel track clings to the sheer cliffs of Nanga Parbat, rising to an elevation of 3,300 meters with zero guardrails. Visually, the road resembles a frayed, dusty thread dangling over a terrifying 1,000-foot abyss, looking like a jagged scar on the face of the Himalayas. As the shadows lengthen, locals whisper warnings of mountain voices that mimic the wind. Rumors say those who hear the mountain call never return. Why do we continue to challenge a road that clearly demands a blood sacrifice? Do not stare into the abyss, for the abyss will eventually stare back into you. At rank 7, we descend into the absolute darkness of the Mariana Trench, the deepest point on our planet. This is a place where the sun's light has been a stranger for billions of years, and the weight of the entire ocean above you is enough to crush a heavy-duty titanium submarine like a fragile aluminum can. Plunging nearly 11,000 meters, over 36,000 feet, into the Earth's crust, this crescent-shaped canyon in the western Pacific was formed by the violent subduction of tectonic plates. Here, the pressure reaches a staggering 8 tons per square inch, creating a hostile, alien environment where life exists in haunting forms that defy every known law of biology. Visually, the trench appears as a gargantuan, midnight black chasm, looking like a jagged eternal wound on the seabed, or the open mouth of a leviathan waiting to swallow the world whole. In this sunless void, strange pale lights flicker like malevolent spirits in the crushing gloom. Ancient maritime warnings tell of dwellers in the deep that thrive in this silence, far beyond the reach of human reason. Are these depths the cradle of our origin, or are they a dark prison for things that should never, ever be awakened? Why would any sane person trust their life to a decaying skeleton of rotted timber and rusted iron? At position number 8, we confront the terrifying reality of the Kolyma region's most infamous crossing, the Vitim River Bridge. Located in the frozen depths of Siberia, Russia, this structure is a harrowing relic of the Soviet era, stretching over 570 meters in length across the treacherous icy currents of the Vitim River. Standing 15 meters above the water, the bridge is a mere 2 meters wide, hardly enough for a standard vehicle, and notoriously lacks any form of guardrails or safety measures. Originally built in the 1980s as a temporary railway bypass, it was never officially commissioned for public travel. Yet it remains the only lifeline for daring drivers navigating this desolate wilderness. Visually, the bridge resembles a fractured, skeletal spine stretching toward a gray, indifferent horizon. The wooden planks are often slick with black ice or rotted through completely, looking like a series of loose, broken teeth in the jaw of a giant. It is a precarious, rusted needle threading through a landscape that feels like the very edge of the world. As the pale, weak Siberian sun casts long, shivering shadows across the swaying beams, the wind carries the mournful echoes of the millions who perished building the surrounding Road of Bones. Local legends warn that the bridge breathes with the spirits of the past, and a single moment of hesitation will see you claimed by the river's frozen grip. Do not test your luck here. The bridge remembers every soul it has taken. If you hear the ancient wood begin to groan beneath your wheels, will you have the strength to keep moving, or will you become another ghost lost to the Siberian frost? Turn back now. You are entering a realm where time has stopped and an invisible fire still burns within the very soil. At position number 9, we cross the barbed wire borders of the Chernobyl exclusion zone in Ukraine. On April 26, 1986, the catastrophic explosion of Reactor 4 released 400 times more radioactive fallout than the Hiroshima bomb, forcing the permanent evacuation of over 100,000 people overnight. This 2,600 square kilometer dead zone remains one of the most contaminated places on Earth, a silent monument to a disaster that rendered the land uninhabitable for the next 20,000 years. Visually, the abandoned city of Pripyat is a haunting, post-apocalyptic forest of concrete and glass. Rusty Ferris wheels stand like skeletal giants in overgrown plazas, and crumbling schools are filled with decaying gas masks and shattered toys. It looks like a jagged urban scar on the map of Europe, a place where the emerald fingers of nature are slowly strangling the remains of human ambition. In the heavy, suffocating silence of these ruins, the only sound is the frantic, rhythmic clicking of a Geiger counter, a desperate warning from a world you cannot see. Urban explorers whisper of shadow people that flicker in the corners of abandoned hospitals and the distant, metallic echoes of footsteps where no living soul should be. Do not linger when the shadows stretch long. Some say the ghosts of the atom are still trying to finish their final shift. If the air begins to taste like metal, will you find the exit in time? Why would anyone cultivate a sanctuary dedicated entirely to the silent art of murder? At position number 10, we stand before the Poison Garden at Alnwick Castle, England. How is it possible that a place of such serene, manicured beauty harbors the power to stop a human heart in mere minutes? Why do we build walls around that which we fear most? Opened in 2005, by the Duchess of Northumberland, this lethal botanical collection features over 100 species of the world's most deadly plants. Behind imposing black iron gates marked with skulls and crossbones, the garden cultivates everything from strychnine and hemlock to the source of ricin. The environment is so perilous that visitors are strictly forbidden from smelling, touching, or tasting any plant, as the very fumes in the air have been known to cause fainting and loss of consciousness. Visually, the garden is a lush emerald trap, a green labyrinth where death wears the mask of a delicate petal. It resembles a botanical assassin's guild, looking like a vibrant velvet scar upon the historic castle grounds, where elegance is nothing more than a lethal deception. In the filtered, eerie light of the canopy, the silence feels heavy with the scent of the earth's darkest secrets. Local whispers tell of a green mist that guards the roots of the hemlock, waiting for the unwary to succumb to its fragrance. Why are we so drawn to the fatal embrace of nature's forbidden fruit? If the leaves began to whisper your name, would you stay to listen or run before the garden claims your soul? From the crushing silence of the abyss to the frozen whispers of Siberia, we have touched the very edges of our existence. These 10 locations serve as a chilling reminder that our world is far more mysterious and dangerous than we often dare to imagine. Which of these places haunted you the most, and would you ever dare to visit? Tell us in the comments below. If you found this journey breathtaking, subscribe for more hidden wonders. Until next time, remember, some secrets are better left undisturbed.